Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Jo. This week I'm co-hosting music lessons with Carlos. See you!
Welcome everybody to another live session in music lesson webinar with Carlos. Today we will cover different topics such as ear training, music theory, keyboard skills, chord progressions, and contemporary voicings. We also have some new piano tutorials, so stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, thank you to Sarah Jo for her latest bebop lick tutorial. Yeah, and just talking about bebop licks, we had a turnaround, but maybe we can start even easier. We can start just with a basic 2-5-1, and what could we do? Actually, even before I start, I want to welcome, so many students are here with me today. Steve, hello. Kota from all the way back from Musicians Institute. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, if we are going to develop a very basic routine, I would say a warm-up, how about if we just work with chord tones? We're in a 2-5-1 in C major. Re, fa, la, do, sol, ti, re, fa, do, mi, sol, ti. Then we go to F, or all the keys. Re, fa, la, do, sol, ti, re, fa, do, mi, sol, ti. So, do, mi, sol, ti, E flat. Re, fa, la, do, sol, ti, re, fa, do, mi, sol, ti, and so on. And we should practice. Actually, that's something that maybe next time. Yeah, I want to prepare a lesson so we can do this in all 12 keys, starting from the very beginning. Yeah, I'm starting to get quite a few requests and emails. You know, how can I start my improvisation practice? Well, one of the things that we can start doing is how work with our basic chord scale system. Yeah, and then I would use just a basic chord progressions in like a 2-5-1, and even if that's too difficult, just a single chord. Yeah, and then in one single chord we can work with the scales. Then we can go back to things like that. Yeah, things like that. We can just start working with those chord and scale relationships. Now it comes the ear training aspect, you know, to be able to hear, and that's why we put so much emphasis. We put so much emphasis on ear training, yeah, to be able to hear the do, to be able to hear the mi, be able to hear the ti, and all the other notes. Yeah, so then maybe, you know, we're hearing melody. You know, whatever that we can hear. You know, that's another little workout that we can start practicing every day. So today I want to work with talking about chord scales and talking about ear training. You know, ideally we should combine both. And I want to talk about the Lydian mode. Lydian mode. So Lydian mode, we have a do, re, mi, fi, sharp 4, sol, la, ti, do. And the very first step is just to do a cluster. Cluster, which means we're going to do a chord made up of consecutive seconds. We're going to press the lower 4 notes with our left hand, upper 4 notes with the right hand. And we already did C. Yeah, so F to E, C. Okay, let's go to B flat. Yeah, let's go to E flat. B flat, sorry. Okay, so in B flat we have a do, re, mi, fi, sol, la, ti, do, and we're gonna press this scale. Okay, so that would be the very first step, just to get acquainted to the shape, to the geometrical shape of all our chord scales. What would be the next one? In this one, anybody can do, you know, bass, guitar, saxophone, you know, vocals. We're gonna do diatonic patterns going up and down the scale. So how about we're gonna do the thirds, do, mi, re, fi. Yeah, we're gonna go up and down the scale. Here we go. Do, mi, re, fi, mi, sol, fi, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do. And let's go to another key. Yeah, let's go to E flat. First, we're gonna do the cluster. Do, re, mi, fi, sol, la, ti, do. As you can see, I always use solfege. I've been using solfege forever, yeah? And my favorite, movable do solfege. Yeah, why is my favorite? Because it just fits so well with the chord scale system. My opinion, unless you're an orchestral player, yeah, you know, just, you know, your whole emphasis is in reading, yeah, I would say unless, you know, that's your musical path, yeah, then in that case, yeah, fixed Do will be more appropriate. But in any other area, composition, songwriting, pop music, jazz, improvising, film scoring, you name it, yeah, I would say movable Do is it's a better system, yeah, and that's my musical belief, yeah. So that's why I use it all the time. So now, here we go. We're gonna build it. Do, re, mi, fi, sol, la, ti, do. Now we're gonna do the pattern up and down the scale. Do, mi, re, fi, mi, sol, fi, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do. Get your instrument singing and playing at the same time, descending. Do, mi, ti, re, la, do, sol, ti, fi, la, mi, sol, re, fi, do, mi, do. The fi. Very important for today, yeah, so we can hear that sharp 11, yeah, that sharp 11, very important. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's go to A flat Lydian, Do, Re, Mi, Fi, Sol, La, Ti, Do. We're gonna meditate 4 seconds on the shape of the scale. Now, we're gonna play the scale, diatonic thirds, up and down. Do, mi, re, fi, mi, sol, fi, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do, descending. Do, mi, ti, re, la, do, sol, ti, fi, la, mi, sol, re, fi, do, mi, do. Okay, let's do one more. One more. Let's go to D flat. Okay, D flat, and we're gonna construct. I'm gonna build it up. Do, re, mi, fi, sol, la, ti, do. And here we are in D flat. Now we're gonna do our diatonic thirds. Do, mi, re, fi, mi, sol, fi, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do. Descending. Do, mi, ti, re, la, do, sol, ti, fi, la, mi, sol, re, fi, do, mi, do. Okay, Lydian mode. So, homework. I would like you to do this in all 12 keys. Yeah, you know, we only did just a few. We did maybe 3-4 keys, but you have to work in G flat, C flat, C flat, B, E, A, D, and G, all of the keys, yeah. And another practice that I like to do is what I call direct clusters. Okay. So, you know my cycles, isn't it? You know, we use the cycles, you know, we're going to use them in a few moments. Yeah, it's just a way to navigate through all the keys. But let's say that you know your cycle of fourths. So you take your Lydian mode cluster and you go directly like this. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. Okay, so that's another workout, and your homework would be to try to work directly, chunk, yeah, into the whole scale. Yeah, and when you do that, you also learn to visualize it. You learn to virtualize it. Yeah, it's not just to see it, but be able to feel, hear, see the whole scale construct in your mind in a fraction of a second. Then when you, to the degree that we can do that, to the degree that we can use those shapes, yeah, we can flow with them, play with them, and improvise, compose, yeah, with those scales. Okay. Good. So that's our scale section. I want to go into our chord section. Okay, chords. And I want to start with intervals. Intervals. And why intervals? Because intervals are the building blocks, yeah, of everything we're going to do. Okay. In many schools, yeah, in many systems, they always teach intervals in relationship to a key. We are not going to do that. we're gonna see intervals as little independent space entities, almost like musical elements. Yeah, and when we see them that way, then we can use them very freely to construct other forms, other shapes. Yeah. So we're not thinking, okay, this note and this key and this chord finally gives me that interval. Yeah, that's, we're never gonna do that. So how are we gonna see our intervals? We're gonna see them as space. Okay, 13th, octave in a major 6, octave and 1, 2, 3, 4.5 whole steps. Yeah. So we're gonna go through the cycle of fifths. In a 13th, I can play like this, or I can play like this. Maybe I should zoom out a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom out. Yeah, so that we can you can see me navigating a bit more. Yeah, on the keyboard. So yeah, so here we go. We're gonna go through the cycle of fifth. C, G. So all the 13ths ascending. D, A, E, B, G flat, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F, and C. Okay, so that's a nice way of practicing our 13th ascending. Okay, so what can we do with the 13th ascending? Okay, if I'm in the key of C, I have a 13th. That 13th can be the 13th of a major 7, sharp 11. That 13th can be the 13th of a diminished major 7 chord with a 9th and an 11th. Okay, maybe, yeah, we can actually find a lot of uses. Okay, what another one? How about we can have a 13 in a minor 7? Yeah, so we can have 13ths everywhere. So now we're gonna work with our major 13ths, but descending. So from any note, an octave and 1, 2, 3, 4.5 steps. And I want to change cycles. Change cycles. Okay, how about if we do the cycle of minor thirds, but we're going to use the sharpened harmonics. Yeah, so we push ourselves to C sharps. That's something I have to self-correct, actually, because I became kind of a flat musician. Because all my teachers were, old jazz players, big band players, they were, B flat trumpet, B flat sax, E flat sax, so they were all flat biased, yeah, and I inherited that, yeah, so I'm self-correcting. Okay, so let's talk about why do we need to see intervals descending? Well, many reasons. One of the reasons is how about being able to see any note, yeah, is a melody of different chords. So this A can be the 9th of this chord. This A can be the flat 3 of this chord. This A can be a sharp 11 of this chord. This A can be the 13th of this chord. Oh, did I say? No, I didn't do it right. Okay, this can be the 13th of this chord. Sorry for this, but this can be the major 7 of this chord. Yeah, and so on, and so on. Yeah, we can find so many possibilities. And I remember there was this pianist, Kenny Werner, when he used to go to the Musicians Institute to give his lectures. There was one of the exercises that he gave. I think he was giving exercises of reharmonization of every single note and really, just opened them up, and then of course a previous skill that we would have to develop in order to do those exercises is to be able to see harmonic relationships, which are based on intervals. Yeah, okay. So that's why intervals so important, so important. Now, we're gonna do major 13ths descending. We're gonna use this cycle. Every note here is gonna be the top note, and then we're gonna play an interval descending. Okay, major 13, octave, 4.5 steps. C, D sharp, F sharp, A, C sharp, G. I'm opening up also the intervals, yeah, adding maybe 2-3 octaves in between. A sharp, or B flat, D, F, G sharp, B, and C. Okay, this was a nice workout. Okay, let's say that you're in a advanced player, or you're exploring intervals in a different way, and you want to explore the actual reharmonization of every interval. So you say, okay, C is my 13th of this chord. Yeah, D flat is my 13, D sharp, my 13 of this chord. F sharp, 13 of maybe this chord. A, my 13 of this chord. Yeah, you can you can work with your intervals that way. Yeah, descending intervals in this case. So now we're gonna work with, okay, keyboard basics. Yeah. I have a lot of students which are producers and songwriters. And one of the questions they're asking me always is, Carlos, let's do a workout. Sometimes you just, start working out in all this esoteric, keyboard and chord skill stuff. Can you give me some basic exercises so I can write my songs? Yes. Let's work with diatonic triads, and actually this we all should do. Yeah, we all should do. Even if we think that we're advanced. Yeah, we all should review our diatonic triads, and also how about let's take it to another level. Yeah, let's work with diatonic triads in a modal interchange. Yeah, so we're gonna have a basic modal interchange. So we have major to natural, minor, melodic, and harmonic. So why don't we do that today? Okay, we're gonna start with our B flat key. We can do our cluster. We're going to start with our triads. Yeah, also one of the tools that I like is use naming, intentional naming. So I can name the chord symbols, and then my attention kind of configures itself in a certain way. But if I name the Roman numerals, immediately my attention configures itself in a different way. I'm more aware of not just of the chord. It's almost, I'm not just zooming in, but I'm zooming out. Yeah, and I'm aware of the whole key. Yeah, so we're going to use those two techniques. So now we're going to name the Roman numerals. Here we go. B1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, 1 major. Okay, and now what are we going to do? 1 moment, I think for this I can zoom in. Okay, good. Now what I want to do is we're going to do the same. Yeah, but we're going to play with our left hand, and right hand is going to play the rootless melody. Yeah, that's very important. So we're shifting hands all the time. So now let's name, and now we're going to name the chord symbols. B flat, C minor, D minor, E flat major, F major, G minor, A diminished, B flat major. Okay, so now modal interchange. We're going to go to the parallel minor. Parallel. Yeah, so we have two keys, two ways of moving, relative and parallel. Yeah, so now parallel. So now our key center, now we have from 2 flats, we went to 5 flats. And we have a natural minor scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Good. Yeah, this is a good workout. Now, here we go. We're gonna name the Roman numerals. 1 minor, 2 diminished, 3 or flat 3 major. Flat 3 major would be Berkeley style. Yeah, 4 minor, 5 minor, 6 or flat 6 major. Yeah, all you know, Berkeley style is more like a chromatic naming style. Yeah, flat 6 major or 6 major, 7 major or flat 7 major, and 1 minor. And now we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the same, but we're gonna play with our left hand. Yeah, and we're gonna play our the rootless melody with our right hand. So, okay, Steve has an interesting comment. Yeah, okay, okay, we're gonna play left hand triad, right hand root. Okay, B flat minor, C diminished, D flat major, E flat minor, F minor, G flat major, A flat major, B flat minor. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. Yeah, from natural minor, we're gonna move on to melodic minor. See, boom, everything changed. Well, not everything, but a lot of things changed. Yeah, so we're gonna do our melodic minor cluster. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah, and here we go. We're gonna name the Roman numerals. 1 minor, 2 minor, 3 or flat 3 augmented, 4 major, 5 major, 6 diminished, 7 diminished, and 1 minor. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same, but now we're gonna move on to, we're gonna play with our left hand, bass clef. Yeah, we're gonna play the rootless melody. B flat minor, C minor, D flat augmented, E flat major, F major, G diminished, A diminished, and B flat minor. Okay, good. So now we're gonna move on to harmonic. Yeah, so we have the diatonic triads to harmonic minor. Okay, one moment. Oops. What do I have here? Okay. Okay, harmonic minor. Yeah, so we're gonna do our cluster do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And we're gonna play our triads. We're gonna name the Roman numerals. 1 minor, 2 diminished, flat 3 augmented, 4 minor, 5 major, 6 or flat 6 major, 7 diminished, and 1 minor. Homework, we should practice this in all 12 keys. Yeah, so we're just establishing a practice routine today. Okay, whoops. Now let's move on to bass clef. Yeah, we're gonna play with our bass with our left hand and melody with our right hand. Okay, B flat minor, C diminished, D flat augmented, E flat minor, F major, G flat major, A diminished, and B flat minor. Okay, homework. How about if we practice this in all different keys? Yeah, and what we can do is we can start with major. You know the major, Yeah, we do our triads in major, ascending, descending, and then we go to natural minor, then we go to melodic minor, and then we go to harmonic minor, and we go to that sequence, you know, on the same key. So we're getting used to also a modal interchange. Yeah, our mind starts to be able to navigate. So you're in the key of C, you're improvising, and then maybe here you go to Mixolydian, then maybe you go here to Dorian, and maybe here you go to Lydian, and maybe here you go to Lohengrin Natural 9, and maybe here you go to Altered, and maybe here you go to Phrygian, and then you end up in major again. Yeah, so you can flow through all different modal interchange configurations. Yeah, you can just flow from one scale to another scale. Yeah, and that's a great practice. And for songwriters, yeah, this was more like for a performer, but for songwriters, yeah, to do our diatonic triads, yeah, in changing, yeah, going to the parallel scale. Yeah, that's extremely useful. Okay, before, you know, I wanna work with both merengue piano and salsa piano today. Yeah, and before we do that, I want to do one more thing. I want to do chord extensions. Chord extensions, yeah, that's very important. And okay, chord extensions. Now this might be a bit more advanced, but it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Here we have a diminished triad, and behind this diminished triad we're going to have a scale, yeah, running in the background, a whole half scale or symmetrical diminished scale, whole half, whole half, whole half, whole half, do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, root 9, flat 3, 11, flat 5, A flat 13, maybe diminished 7, 7 in root. And we're gonna build our chord extensions based on that scale. And we're gonna do that in different keys. So we're gonna start with a diminished triad. We add a major 7, we're gonna add the 9th, we're gonna add the 11th, and then we're gonna add the flat 13th. Okay, now we're gonna sing. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. And now we're gonna start on E. Yeah, we're gonna start on E. And here we go. We have an E triad, diminished triad. We're gonna add the major 7. We're gonna add the 9th. We're gonna add the 11th. And we're gonna add the flat 13th. So now we're gonna sing. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. Okay, now we're gonna go to G. Okay, let's go to G. We have a diminished triad, major 7, 9, 11, and flat 13 on top. We're gonna sing. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. Now, let's go to key of D. And we have a diminished triad. We're going to add a major 7th. We're going to add a 9th. We're going to add an 11th. And now we're going to add a flat 13th or minor 13th on top. See, that's why mastering our intervals is so important. Now we're gonna sing. We're gonna use solfege. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. Good. Let's go to another key. Yeah, let's go to the key of A sharp or B flat. So we're gonna start with a diminished triad. We're gonna add a major 7. We're gonna add a 9th. We're gonna add a perfect 11th. And now we're gonna add a flat 13 on top. Or that's either one. I think either register will work on this chord. Yeah. So now we're gonna sing. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. Let's do our last key of the day. Let's do E flat or D sharp. D sharp may be more appropriate. Okay, so we have a diminished triad. We're gonna add a major 7, major 9th, perfect 11th, and minor 13th, or flat 13. And now we're gonna sing. Do, mi, se, ti, re, fa, le. Okay, so that's the chord extension of the day. Okay, good. Yeah. Homework. You know, I would like you to take the sequence. Yeah, and work with that. You know, this sequence of building. You know, chords in on a diminished, starting with the diminished triad and ending with the diminished major 7, flat 13, 11, 9th. Yeah, and just do them in all 12 keys. And first we build them, emphasizing our perception of intervals, and then we sing them. Singing them, very important. Otherwise, only the visual part is going to be developed, and not our oral. The oral aspect of our mind is going to get developed. Okay, good. So now let's groove. Let's groove. Let's groove. Okay, welcome to the merengue section. And why do I do merengue and then salsa? Maybe it's just a bit reminiscent of what my gigs when I was a student. You know, I was playing, you know, those 5-6 nights a week, and we used to play merengue, salsa, maybe a bolero right there in the middle. Yeah, once, you know, but and it was quite a workout. I don't know how I survived. Yeah, so but and in those days I was studying with Anthony Di Bonaventura. He's a great classical pianist. He used to just to emphasize, Carlos, just loosen those wrists. Yeah, keep your arms light. Yeah, and then you won't have any problems. Yeah, and he was right. Yeah, so. That's what we're going to keep in mind, yeah, when we do those octaves, especially with merengue, which can go much faster than salsa. Yeah, so we're going to keep that in mind. So now let's hear the example.
One, two, 1, 2.
Okay, so here we had a 5-7-2-1. Yeah, 5-7-2-1. 3. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna start on the 5th, around the 5th. Yeah, and ideally, if we can take this pattern and just play it, you know, just little by little. Yeah, in all different keys. That would be the ideal workout. So we have a 5 to the 1. Yeah, with the 5 on top. Yeah, sol on top. So let's hear it again.
One, two, 1, 2.
Okay, now we're gonna go 280 beats per minute. Yeah, so we can practice. Yeah, get the articulation right. So here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, and now we're gonna practice with bass and percussion only. Yeah, so I forgot to say that this pattern is in pambiche. Yeah, so just reminding everybody, in merengue we have many styles and sub-styles, so we can group them all into 2. Yeah, just reducing everything. We can have derecho, which is straight, and pambiche, which is very syncopated. Yeah. So what is interesting in pambiche is all the variations that we're going to have in the percussion section. Yeah. So we can listen to the guira, to the tambor, and to the congas, and the interplay of the 3 percussion. So here we go. We're going to practice now without piano, just bass and percussion.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, now we're going to practice at 248 beats per minute with bass and percussion only. Here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, I hope that you enjoyed the merengue section of this lecture, this webinar lecture. And now let's work with some salsa piano. And I have a surprise for you. 2-5-1, but in minor. Okay, and let me change my camera. Okay, much better. And here we have that number on the top, the left of the staff. 2-3, which means 3-2 clave. para sa pam pam para. And now we're gonna go into 3-2 clave. Yes, 3-2 clave. We're gonna do those two. Yeah, we're gonna do those two. This is gonna be fun. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, so 3-2. Pa pa re pa be sa sa ba be de para para Okay, so we're gonna start with 2-3, and let's work. We're gonna start with I think the very first thing that we should do when we practice those montunos is just maybe, we have a montuno with the right and tumbao with the left. So how about if we just practice a montuno against pulse, against 4. 1, 2, 3, and. And then also backwards, we can do pulse with the right, and then we're gonna do bass with the left. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, so that was a nice warm-up. Now we're gonna play 140 beats per minute. Yeah, we're gonna switch. I want to switch between 2-3 and 3-2. So 2-3, here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so that was our 2-3 workout. 2-3 workout. And now let's work with 3-2 clave. Yeah, 3-2 clave. So 3-2 clave, we're gonna practice a left hand pulse, right hand montuno. 1, 2, 3, and. And the bass is the same. Yeah, bass in this case is the same. Yeah, so we can practice, we can do our pulse with our right hand, and we can play bass. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, now we're gonna play with percussion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, good. So now we're going to go back to 2-3. But we're going to take tempo. Let's go to 156 beats per minute. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So here we go, 2-3 and 156 beats per minute.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, good. Now we're gonna do, we're gonna play in 3-2 clave. Oops, so let me change. 3-2 clave. Yeah, and we're gonna play at 156 beats per minute. So here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now we're gonna go back to 2-3. Okay, we're gonna go back to 2-3, and let's play now. Let's push it all the way up. Let's go to 172 beats per minute. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah. So here we go, 172 beats per minute. So that would be medium fast already. So here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now we're gonna go to 3-2 clave. 3-2 clave. Yeah, at 172 beats per minute. So here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
was a nice salsa workout. Yeah, we did our 2-5-1s in minor, and we work with those 2-5-1s in 2-3 and 3-2 clave. Okay, so I want to continue with that workout, and I want to bring different chord progressions, and we're going to explore them. Also, I want to explore them in different keys. Ideally, you know, in an ideal world, we should take one of those patterns, you know, and just practice them in all 12 keys. You know, and then we can take it to all different keys, yeah? Yeah, but step by step. Okay, that was great to work with all of you. And I'm going to see everybody. I'm going to see Kota. Thank you for coming in. Steve and everybody else. Yeah, thank you for joining me. And I will see everybody next week, next Saturday, same time, same channel. See everybody. Bye-bye. So, thank you for being with me in this live broadcast. We covered a lot of material, and we're going to continue to do so in our next class. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Until then, have a wonderful week, practice your instrument every day, and listen, and play lots of good music. See you next week.